Hello everyone, I'm Nova, and this is Unite class. Welcome. Today we will be talking Pokemon Unite basics for defenders, what the role is, and what you should be thinking about when playing a defender in Pokemon Unite. Let's start by talking about what the role of a defender is. A defender's main role should be to be disruptive for the enemy team in a fight by engaging when it is good for your team and uncomfortable for the enemies, or by controlling the flow of a battle once it has already started. The main objective you should always be chasing is making sure the enemy team is never in a comfortable position during or before a fight. This will be achieved by consistently applying crowd control, which we would be calling CC from this point on. This includes, but it's not limited to, stuns, roots, knockback, and knockoffs. All these options should be used to keep enemies at bay for your team, and also making sure your team is not taken down by the enemy. You will have to keep in mind it is your job as a defender to start fights properly by being the one that engages at the right times and in the proper ways. You may be wondering, how am I supposed to do that? That sounds like so much work. Well, I'm glad you asked. It's actually passively happening while you play. Defenders' kits, the moves and abilities they have, are specifically made to work this way. Almost all defenders have some kind of CC in their kit, making them extremely effective at the role of being disruptive. You should try not to spam your skills on cooldown, as this can hinder how much work you can actually put in a team fight. Instead, you should use it when your enemy is trying to get close to your team to knock them back, or even possibly knock them into your team while making them unable to act by the use of your CC, so your team can easily dispatch of them without them having a chance to fight back. Think of your role in the following way. If the enemy team has a really good player or players, your role is making sure those players get to play as little and as uncomfortable as possible by making sure their life is very miserable during that game. There are two types of defenders inside Pokemon Unite. While the game itself does not categorize them this way, the Pokemon are clearly separated based on how they should be played. The two types of defenders are the following. We have brawlers like Greedent, Crustle, Goodra, and Trevenant, which, yes, while these characters have an amount of CC, they never have as much as the CC heavy disruptors. They cause disruptions by simply attacking Pokemon consistently with their abilities and by being hard to kill due to sustain, lifesteal, shields, or health regen. We then have the CC heavy disruptors. These are Pokemon like Mamoswine, Blastoise, Slowbro, and Snorlax. These Pokemon, on the other hand, will be disruptive by constantly applying some kind of CC or area denial. Have it be by using Snorlax's Block, Blastoise Surf and Hydro Pump, Mamoswine's High Horsepower and Icicle Crash, or even Slowbro Surf. When using these Pokemon, you have to keep in mind that these tools aren't meant just for damage, and instead control the flow of battle and the entire battlefield by stopping people from moving a specific way or simply stopping them on their tracks. I will now show you some clips about some brawlers and some CC heavy disruptors being played. These plays will have mistakes, so don't consider them perfect play. However, I want to show you proper positioning and what you should be thinking about when playing these roles. Let's Let's talk about emblems, shall we? Well, every defender will have a very specific emblem set they want to run if you want to max out your chances of being the strongest Pokemon out there. Not all of us have access to a massive amount of emblem pages, and therefore we have to make use of the few pages we have. There are ways of making decent all-around pages for every tank type. You will need one of each, as some tanks are special attackers and some tanks are physical attackers. The perfect example of this being Trevenant being a physical attacker and Blastoise being a special attacker. These emblem pages, however, can be quite simple to make, as you usually want to have 6 white emblems and 4 emblems of whatever damage type your Pokemon has. You want to try and get as much HP as possible on these builds, and try not to lower your defenses or your specific attack type too much when making these emblem pages. I will have some example pages that you can use for your special attacking tanks and physical attacking tanks being my current emblem pages. While these emblem pages are not perfect at all, they will give you a good general idea and a basic level of play for all of the tanks in Pokemon Unite. Now let's talk a little about items. Items in Pokemon Unite will vary from Pokemon to Pokemon and even from player to player. Usually, you want to go for the core items on a Pokemon, and then the third item is an alternate item that can sometimes change around in a build. There are items, however, that most defenders can use effectively, and these are items that you can level up easily because you can always consider that one of your defenders can probably use this effectively. These items are usually Buddy Barrier, Focus Band, Weakness Policy, Rocky Helmet, EXP Share in very rare cases, and Aeos Cookie. This does not mean these are the only viable items for tanks and you should never use any other item outside of this. I recommend you try out these items, however, in different combinations and add your personal choices of items or search up very specific builds for your Pokemon to know what items you should be equipping on your Pokemon. If you would like more detailed item guides, I suggest you look up Inder's videos on items 1-on-1 in Pokemon Unite, as he has way higher understanding of game items than most players, and some great video guides to show you what each item is for. Or let me know in the comments if you would like me to dumb down what every item is for, and in a very simple way explain what Pokemon could use these items effectively. Lastly, I would like to thank all of you who watched this video. I've seen a lot of people struggling with the game recently, and I decided to give these guides a go. I think it is important for all new players to get a place to start, considering the game doesn't do a great job at showing players what the proper way to play is. I plan on releasing more guides like these in the future. I plan on releasing some for basic objectives and some for very specific Pokemon. Please let me know in the comments below if you would like me to do any specific guides, and I will gladly do my best to do that as fast as I can. I hope you have a great day and wish you the best. Dova out.